Hello everybody, welcome back. What is up? This is I'm Man. Going to be casting some more Starcraft 2 action for you, and as part of my continuing effort to do 3 games a day, here we have in the bottom right hand corner of the map, Shakuras Plateau, it is Pneumonia. In the bottom left hand position, the blue Protoss, we have HexPraks. Alright, a little bit of ZVP action on this map. And you see the extractor trick going down there. Always really gross looking, actually. Look at that, it's disgusting. But the extractor trick gets the Zerg out. An extra drone allows him to be even more economically efficient. But ZVP on this map, as I was saying, very interesting, very difficult for Zerg, I think. There's no good, easy to hold third. This one's pretty far away. And this one's very well extended in the front of you, so don't know really what to think. And looking here, gonna go out and check out this far position because you can see that the Overlord has not scouted the natural yet. And up a little bit of drone pull action there, gets the probe. I don't know if that was worth it, but I guess it denies all scouting. And no, actually, I lied to you guys completely. There's the 10 pull that went down. So a 10 pull here out of Pneumonia, and it'll be really interesting to see if he can hold this, or if HexPrak can hold this. HexPrak's already with a forge on the way, and if he puts down 2 cannons, I think he'll be fine. Gateway now down, so I'm thinking that's just there to wall off HexPrak's, probably having seen the pull he did. So actually not going to be much of a problem for HexPrak's at all to hold. The wall off is pretty much complete here, and Pneumonia's going to have a difficult time doing this kind of damage. One cannon is looking to go down here, and I'll be interested to see what HexPrak does otherwise to defend. No Lings are on the way just yet, so it looks like Pneumonia is going to back out of this really early aggression and try to restore his economy. And it looks like, oh, the wall doesn't get down. There it does. A great little complete tight wall in here by HexPrak, and it's actually going to make this extremely difficult for Pneumonia to put on any aggression if he wants to. But Pneumonia is going to continue with his backing off plane and dropping down that expansion right there. And this puts Pneumonia in a really interesting position. He was going to, you know, cheese a little bit, do a really heavy aggression, and actually now is trying to readjust and decide what he wants to do. Second gateway actually going down for HexPrak, and this is very interesting. One gas is now on, both gases are now on the way, but 2 gateways are on the way before core, so it looks like we might see a little bit of a zealot aggression here coming out of HexPrak actually to counter this 10 pull. Since the Zerg is going to be stuck in just making a ton of drones for the time being, HexPrak might think he can put on a little aggression. Looks like HexPrak did think he was going to throw down the cybernetics core at the front, but no, decides to come in here and throw down another pylon instead. What's Pneumonia going to do? Is he going to go over here and take an expansion? It looks like his money is up there, 330, 350 now, and he will probably just throw down here for an expansion. And there he does, so very quick 3 hatcheries. No gas now here out of Pneumonia, and adding on a Roach Warren and taking a gas as soon as I say no gas. So it looks like he does want to go into some kind of Roach construction. And back in HexPrak's base, nothing really out of the ordinary going on. Adding on a cybernetics core, and as soon as that is finished, we will be seeing Warp Gate here, more than likely. Both players are just spending a little bit of time ramping up, and I really can't wait for the day when this queen, it's actually today, but I really can't wait for the day when this queen can lay that tumor and then immediately can go inject that hatchery. It'll be great when I play later on today and try that out. That's going to be very nice. Very nice indeed. Roach Warren is now complete. We'll be interested to see how many roaches Pneumonia does decide to make. I really have no idea. +1 is on the way for HexPrak, and he's going to throw down his own expansion. Would like to see him get out and scout a little bit and perhaps scout out this third. And 6 more drones on the way, and that will bring him up to 32. So he will be taking quite a commanding drone lead, actually. The Suicide Overlord is going to get in here, scout the cybernetics core with the Warp Gate research warping. And he'll probably will get down here and scout out this double gateway build here. Not as many zealots were produced as I would have thought originally, but it does seem that he is putting them to good use, getting the sentries out of there. And as soon as Warp Gate's finished, those will give him a nice army boost. Alright, no Evo chambers or anything else like that on the ticket for Pneumonia. Looks like he's really just content with adding on a ton of drones. Checking out the drone count, 34 to 25. It looks like he's pretty well saturated as main and as natural. Could almost afford, I would think, to do a drone transfer over here to the third and get even a better source of income. But as things stand right now, income way superior for the Zerg player, up by 500 minerals per minute. And that makes a huge difference. However, let's check out the Army tab. HexPrak is in the lead in terms of Army. That doesn't mean anything to a Zerg player with the macro mechanic larva injector, whatever. He can just reproduce a bunch of fighting units in the matter of an instant. Alright, it looks like going to layer tech now and adding on an evolution chamber that is about 80% of the way done. And he probably will be grabbing up the defense upgrade, I would think, very quickly here, as Zergling speed is about 75% of the way finished as well. Bunch of gateways being added on now for HexPrak, and the third base is now up and running for Pneumonia. This game, pretty much a build up your forces, and we're probably going to attack here very shortly. Not really too sure what both players' strategies are for the long game. Spore crawlers are going up now here in each base, trying to probably ward off against DTs and any kind of air play. And it looks like HexPrak is poking out here, does want to go ahead and get some map control. No, just going to go out there and kill an Overlord. I actually like that a lot. And he did have to kill the pylon that was blocking in his main there. And more warpins are occurring. The +1 army of the Protoss is going to have the match up here very shortly against the +0 army of that of the Zerg. And 20 Lings are now out on the map, and they are just kind of taking the towers, checking it out. And it looks like they are going to go ahead and attack here. Maybe try to get a little swing by. Actually just going to go up here and check for the third. This Protoss army is actually going to get a pretty decent push out. But oh no, the counterattack from the Zerglings could get in. Are they going to get in? They will. They're going to... Oh no. They decided to back up. I thought that would have been a great idea. But I'm not going to pretend to know. This Sentry and the Zealot are going to get caught out here. And it looks like we might have a skirmish in the middle of the map. No, the Zerg player decides to retreat. That one Zealot spared his life. Very interesting, decided to let him go. Pneumonia must have some grace. So it would seem. +1 is on the way now for the Zerg, as +1 armor is on the way for the Protoss. So the Zerg is going to be behind in terms of economy, or I'm sorry, in terms of upgrades the rest of the game. The Zerg is actually way ahead in terms of economy, up by 17 workers. Roaches are getting their speed upgrade and transitioning to Infestor Hydralisk. So the Zerg looks like he really wants to commit to Infestor Hydra and start looking towards the late game here. Can't say that's a bad idea. Ling's poking up here, deciding if they want to go in. They decide against it. I can't say I disagree with them. This probe, where is he headed? It looks like he's going to go maybe lay a pylon down. And I do like the scouting of the Zerg here to constantly check and see if there is a third. I like that a lot. And the probe actually going to go up here and check for the third, and he's going to be a little disappointed when he sees it's been up for a while. And Zerg actually getting in a position to attack, getting pretty close to that Protoss army. And will he go in here? I don't know what. This is some pretty brave Zerglings, man. Pretty brave indeed. And the probe is going to throw down a pylon here. But the Queen will scout it, so that pylon won't last for long at all. I don't like the fact that he's missing injects for this, but at the same time, can't necessarily blame him for wanting to get rid of that pylon. So the Queen does his job, gets that pylon canceled, and the Protoss army from HexPrak wants to push out here. 95 to 102 supply in favor of the Zerg. Check out that tab. 54 army supply for the Protoss. He is ahead by 8. And actually killing some Overlords as he is on the way. Looks like we will have an engagement here. And the Hydra is getting pretty good surface area. But is the army of the HexPrak enough? It doesn't look like the Protoss is going to... No, I'm sorry. It doesn't look like the Zerg is going to have enough. I'm speaking all over myself. The Zerg taking some heavy losses. They're still ahead in terms of the army. In terms of supply count, 11 Hydras and 10 Roaches are on the way. However, the standing army of the Protoss is vastly superior to that of the Zerg. Overlords, Queens, and Roaches are all dying here. The Protoss army, with its upgrade advantage, is just kind of sweeping through the reinforcements here of the Zerg. Hydra's dying left and right. Hydra's not very good by themselves. They are kind of squishy. Overlord's dying, and a nice force field there. Didn't block off the ramp entirely. There it goes. Oh, drones had to have been pulled. A good burrow there from the Zerg player, Pneumonia, but the damage will be done. This natural under fire could very well die, and it most certainly looks like it will die. Roaches popping out way too late, in my opinion, and just hit the hatchery. 25 health. Is this hatchery really going to survive with 25 health? Drones finally coming out to pull as well, and the roaches look like they may temporarily clean this attack up, but you're not going to let that hatch live with 25 life. The roaches might temporarily clean this attack up. No, looks like this Protoss' forces far too strong. Please hit the hatchery once. Thank you. There it goes down. 79 supply for HexPrak, 93 for Pneumonia. Pneumonia using the Broodlings to his advantage. Actually going to take out probably what's left of this Protoss army. Going to kill all of the sentries. Actually very cost inefficient units. So very expensive loss there for HexPrak. But HexPrak did do a significant amount of damage. 11 workers killed. Killed the natural. A lot of damage has been done that cannot be accounted for. HexPrak's army, however, is already back up to fighting shape. A little bit of pressure down here at the third, and it's going to get a pylon without getting it canceled. Will he get the Nexus without getting it canceled? And actually, no, the Protoss army does come over here to join, and it looks like the Pneumonia just wants that Nexus, and it does get canceled very last second there, but not worth the damages he's taking, losing a lot of Hydras, losing a lot of Roaches, and the +1/+1 Protoss army is better in upgrades than the +0/+0 army. Hive Tech is now on the way for HexPrak. It'll be interesting to see what side of tech he does decide to go with. And look how cool an infestation pit is, glowing all red and pink and stuff. Wouldn't be surprised to see him flip into infestors here now that pathogen glands is more than 50% of the way done. And alright, robotics bay is now on the way. Robotics facility, I should say, is on the way. And warp gates are morphin, so the production capabilities of the Protoss player is going to be great. Checking out the income tab, Protoss is ahead in workers and has a superior income than his Zerg opponent. His attack at the natural did far too much damage. In fact, that natural is just now about 40% of the way done. It'll be really interesting to see how the Zerg player decides to respond. He's going to have to get up to that Greater Spire Broodlord tech, which looks like he is trying to do that somewhere. There is the Spire, a little baby Spire right now. And I don't think that he is going to have the time to get back up because this army of the Protoss could come knocking at his door at any minute. 5 Infestors are about to pop, however. Infestors very good against Stalker Zealot. Will they pop in time, and will the control from Pneumonia be good enough to deal with this army? If Pneumonia catches a grouped up Protoss army, and then the fungal growths could do a lot of damage. The natural expansion has just now finished, so the Zerg is up to 4 hatches now. We'd like to see him get some more drones back up since losing all those. Get 15 or so more drones, I think would be an ample amount. Get up to that crucial 70 number where you can just flood units at your opponent here. And alright, it looks like it has the upgrade for the Hydras been gotten yet? Yes, it has. Absolutely. Why wouldn't you get that upgrade? The +1 of the Hydras. A lot more, gives them a lot more area to attack. Here we go, HexPrak's moving out to the center of the map. Looks like he wants to do some aggression again, and that's a very dangerous set looking of Infestors there. Could do a lot of damage. Robotics Bay is on the way, and so we're not far from Colossus production. However, we are not far from what would be Broodlords coming out here from the Greater Spire. That you can see morphing right there. Both armies are kind of standing at the center of the map like a good old Texas standoff. 149 supply for the Protoss, 142 for the Zerg. The army supplies about even, as well as the worker supplies. So while a slight advantage does go to HexPrak, it is ever so slightly, and it will come down to this infestor control and how much damage the Corruptors can do to the impending Colossi. So we do see the Templar Archives coming out, and that is the crucial late game tech for the Protoss race, being able to just storm an entire army. One little, oh poor guy, had no idea what was happening. One little Hydra does go out there, and all this creep is going to get cleared up here because there is an observer with the army. Zerg looks like it did want to take a 5th base up here, and it probably will get cancelled. Actually, it gets straight up destroyed. Not very good for the Zerg player in that situation. And it looks like the Zerg has retreated completely back here to his 3rd. Where is the Protoss going to try to attack? Looks like we might have a battle incoming. Infestors getting on some high ground. We're going to have some sick fungal all over the entire Protoss army. In a good position here by the Zerg. Another sick fungal growth chain fungaling the heck out of this Protoss army, actually. These Infestors more than worth their weight in gold here, and just going to kill off a lot. Broodlords morphing a bunch. Don't know if that's the best place for them to morph, but why not, I guess. Broodlord's a long way from being done, and Infestitarians coming out and actually going to give a bit of a buffer to the Stalkers. Roaches are now popping, and the Infestitarians are actually doing a ton of damage to the Zerg player, doing a lot of damage with those crucial infestors. As a Protoss player, you never want to come up a ramp, and that's exactly what HexPrak did. They're going up the ramp, making a crucial decision. Broodlords are now popping. While the Queen is going to die, it doesn't look like HexPrak is going to be able to do much more damage than that. A huge Broodlord army. What looks to be about how many? 8 Broodlords is just devastated what was remaining of that Protoss army. Yeah, there are some Zealots remaining. Going to kill off maybe a drone, but still so much damage has been done here by Pneumonia. And actually check out the army supply tab. 78, 90, up to 96 now for Pneumonia, 44 for the Protoss. So that's how quickly tides can turn with bad army positioning. These infestors, when they got right up here, the Stalkers just kept getting chain fungled, lost a lot, and knowing that the infestors were his key to victory, he's grabbing 9 more of them. However, Psionic Storm is almost done. It's about 75% of the way done, and that will make the Templars a lot stronger. And as you can see back here in the base, it looks like +2, +2, or +2, just +2 is about to finish here. And the Protoss player grabbing his 4th, transferring all those drones over, and also grabbing his 5th. Nice little scout here by the Zergling. Going to get surrounded and killed, but the Zerg does know it's there. It knows that he needs to do some damage now. 168 supply for the Zerg, 144 for the Protoss player. Protoss player going to have a heck of a time defending this. The Colossus and the Zealots not too good against Infestor Broodlord, but who knows, with good control on those Templars, who really knows. Big Zergling run value. This does a lot of things for the Zerg player. Helps him clean up a lot of supply, and also kills a lot of drones. Holy cow. Zerg player doing a lot of sick damage, and he's also gone up here and he's just focus firing down the Nexus. Oh wow, this is going to put the Zerg player in a heck of an economic position. The Protoss so far behind at this point, and it looks like the Zerglings are going to kill that base up there. A huge investment lost, and the Zerglings certainly going to die, but gives the Zerg more time and more space to free stuff up. 3 Stargates are on the way and nearing completion, so these Broodlords are going to have to do their damage now before Void Rays or Phoenixes get a making. More Broodlords are morphing now, and that will bring him up to, looks about 8 plus 4 is about 12, if I could do my math right, Starcraft math. And Broodlord's actually going to keep everything here in defense, going to hold down that Zergling army, and it looks like the Protoss player is just decimated right now. All the Zealots are going to die. Good storms do go off. Not going to be anywhere near enough, however. Doesn't have nowhere near enough storms to kill all of those Broodlords, and all these Colossus will die. Storms continuing to be effective, but nowhere near enough, in my opinion. Looks like he is running on his last couple of storms here, and this base will fall, so the Protoss is barely mining on one base here. This is the only mining for the Protoss player, and the army is going to just devastate HexPrak's. HexPrak's GG's. Great game from both players. I think HexPrak's actually had it in the bag until he decided to come up this ramp here with his army. And actually, it's funny because Pneumonia hasn't left the game yet. Looks like he just kind of wants to have fun. How much time is left of him just chilling? 4 minutes of him just chilling. Okay. Well, I'm not going to put you guys through that. And alright, thank you guys so much for watching. This game, very interesting to watch. It just shows you what can happen if you make bad decisions with your army. HexPrak's good game, buddy. Pneumonia, great game, man. And this has been I'm Jermaine casting SC2. Subscribe to the channel if you like it. Follow me on Twitter at I'm Jermaine, and like this video or thumbs up it. Thank you guys, and have a great day.